What's up, guys? If you're new here, I'm Shay from the channel Zachary Shay, where I talk about fantasy books, manga, comics, sometimes movies and video games. And this is going to be a spoilery chat about the newest DC movie, Superman, directed and written by James Gunn. If you've caught my spoiler-free review, I'm just going to come out and say it. I thought that this movie was excellent. I think it is everything I've been wanting DC to make for years. It felt phenomenal, and David Cornsweet did such an amazing job, and like I said in that spoiler-free review, Jimmy Olsen was amazing, Lois Lane is amazing. I actually really hope James Gunn has like a Daily Planet TV show in the works. Like, there's so much talent there. I hope that I hope we don't have to wait for another Superman movie. Maybe a Daily Planet TV show, something like that. I don't know, but I loved the cast there. I think that they did so good. And oh my goodness, so much of it was so amazing. And a lot of people, like what I mentioned, the spoiler, there was one spoiler-free video. One thing that bothered me was the way that people reacted to the whole reveal that Superman's parents are like evil and sent him to Earth to conquer.
Being a part of the Empire will make Earth better than it ever was.
I liked that twist on the Superman lore. What I didn't find believable was everyone's reaction to it, because like Superman has been public for 3 years, and you can see in every scene he prioritizes saving lives at all times. And you know, honestly, it's not a fault to the movie. It's just depressing that this is probably accurate. But like, I think that humanity would be better than that. That we wouldn't just be like, oh, his parents were morally bad people, so every virtuous thing he's ever done, we're all gonna forget that. Like, what? You mean to tell me this man is saving children, saving squirrels, saving dogs? He's doing everything. He is sacrificing every inch of himself to save everyone he can. And you're gonna point a finger at him and be like, oh, your parents did this, your parents did that. I get that everyone's experience is different, and my experience won't be the same as everyone else's, but I'll tell you right now, blood family doesn't mean anything. You know, people say, oh, they're my blood, they're my kin. That doesn't mean anything. It's a person's morals, their virtues, it's the way they carry themselves. Those are things that matter, not blood. So I kind of like the message of this Superman that, you know, he came from people that were not good people, that did not have good morals, and look at who he became. And oh my gosh, that scene at the end where he's sitting up and he's watching Martha and Jonathan Kent. I'm just a sucker for found family tropes. I'm a sucker for people that come from, you know, people that maybe their parents aren't the best of people. Prince Zuko from Avatar is an amazing example of this. His parents are, you know, pretty evil. Like, his father is evil. And look at what he turned out to be.
We've created an era of fear in the world. And if we don't want the world to destroy itself, we need to replace it with an era of peace and kindness.
I just love seeing the heroism in the darkness, and I thought it was a really smart choice to do that. And it disappointed me seeing humanity kind of turn their back on Superman with nothing from his own actions. Even Guy Gardner, his douchebag ass, is like, are you really? Do you have a harem? It's like, how shallow and dense could you be? Who cares? If someone's parents are terrible people, that has no relation to how I'm treating them. If they've shown me nothing but a virtuous and stand-up character. And oh man, this movie, the final act was so well done. His standoff against Lex Luthor. And might I just say, I love that Lex Luthor was very intelligent in this movie, but James Gunn did not dumb down Clark Kent. He did not dumb down Superman. Superman and Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen are all very intelligent and very capable. It's just I think a lot of writers, right, they need it to be translated in the scene that Superman is not as smart as Batman, or not as smart as Lex Luthor, or not as smart as Amanda Waller. And that these three, you know, I'm just using these three examples, Mr. Terrific, you know, these four examples of highly intelligent characters. But a lot of writers don't want to put the work in to having these characters do very intelligent things, so they make everyone else act stupid by comparison. I've seen this done in multiple comics. I've seen this done in cartoons, and I don't always like that approach. I love James Gunn's approach in this one. Superman is not dumb. He maybe is overly optimistic. He likes to see the good in people. Even Lois Lane comments on that when she finds out that he told his secret identity to the Justice Gang. But, he's not an idiot. Lex Luthor likes to say, brain over brawn, brain over brawn. You're not brain over brawn. It's hate over compassion is what it is. If you believe for a second that Lex Luthor gets the upper hand on Superman at times because he's smarter, that's not the case. The difference there is that Lex Luthor is so bent on Superman's destruction. Superman is not trying to take Lex Luthor down before Lex Luthor can take him down. Superman is trying to make sure that the least amount of people are hurt in the fallout of Lex Luthor's wrath. It's a difference of goals. Lex Luthor is all about destruction, and Superman is all about preservation, about preserving those lives, about making sure everyone is safe, about saving everyone he can. And, you see that in that scene where he breaks down and he yells at Lois and he's like, people were going to die. You see how heavily this weighs on him to be that hero, to be that champion. Man of Steel had so many scenes between Jonathan and Clark Kent. And I think that Man of Steel is one of the better DC EU movies. And I thought that dynamic worked well. It worked just as well in this one with a fraction of the screen time. That scene where Jonathan Kent says, what you wanted that message to mean says a lot more about your character than where you came from. And it's like Clark didn't have the full message, and he wanted to believe that his parents sent him here to be, the symbol of hope. And to me, that's just a powerful message. It's such an amazing movie. It's my favorite movie of the year. It beats out Sinners by Ryan Coogler. It just has, it's more flawed than Sinners. Sinners, I think, is a more cohesive package. This is crazy to be comparing a Michael B. Jordan, Ryan Coogler vampire movie to James Gunn, David Cornsweet Superman, but they are my two favorite movies of the year. But Superman is a tale about perseverance. It's a tale about compassion. It's about humanity. And not to poke fun at a much bigger channel than myself, Jeremy Johns, love his stuff. To say Superman is probably a better time if you're drunk, I think you're missing a lot of the messages of the movie. And that's just part of his rating system. He wasn't trying to slander Superman. If you're not familiar with his channel, which anybody watching this is probably knows who Jeremy Johns is, but I would contest that. Not in a, you're wrong, Jeremy. Like, I understand why he has his viewpoints, and I understand that James Gunn isn't going to work for everyone, but I don't want that to scare people away, because I've put stock in a lot of Jeremy's opinions. I think he's a great channel, but I just want to offer an alternate perspective. I thought that this movie was excellent, and I really want people to see it because I really want it to do well, because I really want more. This was not commercialized BS. This was art. This had a message behind it, had a good message behind it, not something that tries to be dark and morbid, to be edgy, to be the hottest thing right now. It is unapologetically itself, and it was just a ton of fun, and I cannot wait to get more movies in the DCU. Let me know what you thought of Superman down below, and peace.